Hello everybody and welcome to Matu's Gaming channel. Today we're going to be talking about Spellbreak. It's the first day that it's been released by NDB in like 7 hours, but I'm preparing ahead of time so I can upload this as soon as it drops. So if you are new to Spellbreak, I'm here to talk to you today about the ruins and masteries, which is technically just their subclasses, but anyways, we're going to talk about the subclasses. These are your subclasses that you get for whenever you start, not start the game, but whenever you go into a PvP. You can choose between Bulwark, Conduit, Crackshot, Frostborn, Pyromancer, Savage or Scavenger, Scholar, Stone Shaper, Tempest, um, Toxicologist, if I'm right, and Zealot. The ones I recommend that are best for beginners, if you are new to Spellbreak, I recommend going either Bulwark, Pyromancer, or Stone Shaper. I say Bulwark because the passive, your passive is fortified, and if you have any armor, so if you get any potions while you're running around the map, you gain or you regenerate 5 armor every 10 seconds. So you pretty much don't have to go around looking for armor potions or using your armor potions as much if you're just running around looking for people at the moment. And then if you take damage, you regenerate HP, and then you over 20 seconds, if you get hit anymore, then the regeneration stops, but it's still pretty legit. So that's also, like, I guess you could say, kind of like a little tankiness for you in a way. And then 30% of damage done to your HP is taken from your mana instead, so it'll take away from your mana, so it also keeps you alive even more. And then you gain armor, you gain armor equal to damage done to your enemy's armor. So pretty much you can use that to your advantage. So you could say Bulwark's kind of like a very tanky kind of class, or not class, but subclass to help you sustain. Pyromancer is good because the passive is it lets you revive, and as bad as that sounds, or as bad as it may sound that you may get a redo on someone else, it's pretty helpful if you're new to the game and you don't know how to play the game too much. I used it a lot back when I first started, but yeah, it's definitely good. And also one of the passives with it is Born with Fire, and you're immune to your fireball explosions, but if you stand in your flames, it also heals you, which can be pretty good if you need some healing done. And I see a lot of professionals do that, or not professionals, but I guess you could say pros who play Spellbreak in the alpha. Like, I saw Vandal do it, Phoenix has done it, I've seen a lot of people do it, but those are the most notable people because I played them a lot. And then the last one is Stone Shaper. I only say this because of Rock Slide, the passive, the one that looks like a little eyeball. Whenever you hit someone with a spell, it keeps them from jumping. So unless they have like a Wind Amulet or Featherfall Ruin, they can't really jump. So it should be really easy to hit them. So yeah, it just kind of helps you aim and hit them better and kill them faster. So if you have problems aiming, you got that going for you. And a lot of other people say Scavenger's pretty good, but I prefer those three because those three are pretty much more beneficial in my opinion. So moving on. This doesn't really matter. I just was kind of curious to see who was in the leaderboards, to be honest, because this wasn't here back whenever I played. So you don't have to pay too much attention to the leaderboards. It's just me kind of exploring what's new and what's not new. These are the characters you can choose from. I'm not going to go into detail about it. That was a character I used to use, but I decided to change it up a little bit since new alpha. So why not? So now let's jump into practice mode, and already the background is looking pretty nifty, and oh my gosh, I'm loving the practice mode right now. It looks completely different from how it used to look. It looks very well thought out. It looks very nice, beautiful. I'm loving it so far. So let's get into the weapons. So the weapons look like they're organized from common to legendary, which is pretty cool, and separated by elements. So that's what's up. So toxic, lightning, wind, stone, earth, fire, and last but not least, frost. So, and then there's a little orb. I wonder what class okay, that doesn't really matter because I didn't choose my class yet. So you can choose your classes in game. Press B to open up the class slot. Just so you know, these skill points are what you use to pretty much get passives as you play throughout the game. You also get it from, I want to say you get it from like passively playing the game, like when you're inside like the, you know, the actual battle royale. It seems like you just naturally kind of get skill points sometimes. It's always seemed like that to me, but I'm pretty sure someone can tell you differently, but it feels like that to me. I will say that you will never ever get max subclass passives in this game. I'm just gonna tell you that now. Either you're gonna, one, die too quickly, or two, the game's just not gonna last that long. So choose your passives wisely. You at max probably get like one or two. What I'm doing right now is just kind of maxing out all of them because I've never done it before, and you know, since it gave me the option to, I just was like, why the hell not? So that's what those little circle things are right next to the passives. So nothing really bad, but you know, just know you can't do that in real life. So now I'm going to speed up the video again because I was only slowing it down so I could talk about the skill points. And then we're going to get to amulets. So each amulet has its own little ability or special quality. I'm not really going to go over the common ones until later on in like a minute or so, but pretty much I'm going to press tab and I'm going to show you what each amulet does. I'm going to hover over it, but also if you want to read it on your own, it is to the right where you can read what's around me, but also like what I'm going to grab. So if I'm moving a little too fast and you can't read what I'm hovering over with my mouse, then you can just pause the video or look to the right and it'll tell you what it does. I am showing you right now what some of the amulets do, like for the fire one with the configuration amulet, it explodes and makes 3 fireballs. I was trying to combine wind and fire to make like some kind of fire blast and try to cut through the fireballs. As you can tell, that didn't really work out, so that was me just trying to do that for like a couple of seconds and then I gave up and moved on. The crosswinds is probably one of my favorite amulets for actually attacking because it gives you 3 wind blasts instead of 1, which can be very helpful if you ever need to do triple damage or hit someone and you're not the best at aiming and you're like, hey, well now I got 3, so there you go. The reactive amulet, it's alright. It's kind of like a, I want to say reflect amulet in a way, but I don't really use it. And then that amulet I'm not so used to because I've actually only seen it a couple of times, but yeah. My favorite amulets would probably be the behemoth amulet or the amulet of the scribe. But I usually try to aim to get the behemoth because that's just my personal favorite from the amulets. Everyone has a different preference, but I recommend the behemoth or the scribe. And these are the common ones. Nothing too special, just kind of like increase mana or increase armor or something. Nothing too special. Now we're going to the ruins. Featherfall, it launches you up and pretty much, I guess, slightly makes you glide. Flight makes you fly. Teleport, pretty self-explanatory. Blink, self-explanatory if you played an MMO. Shadow Step, if you, ooh snap, is that Featherfall now? Oh my god, it looks so cool now. But Shadow Step pretty much makes you blink and then make you invisible afterwards, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. Nothing too special. And oh my gosh, I love what they did with Featherfall. It's so cool now. It's so elegant. Anyways, so that's pretty much the ruins. So you have flight, teleport, the greatest one now, Featherfall, um, teleport, blink, invisibility. I forgot about that one. And then you also have wolf blood, which is pretty much like a way for you to navigate people, or not navigate, but track people if you can't find them on your own and you need a little assistance. You can use the wolf and it'll like roar for you or howl, and then it'll find someone who's close enough to you and then it'll locate them. It's pretty good for if you're trying to like ambush somebody, but it's not too good if you're like the one, I guess, getting attacked, because then you have only that ruin and you're like, well shit, this isn't gonna help me in a fight. So it's more or less good for assaulting rather than, you know, getting assaulted. So now we're getting to the boots. The boots, I wouldn't say there's many special things about them besides like the, I guess, raring up, or not raring up, but epicing up. But my favorite boots would be um the boots of the mouse or the boots of the cat, because I like the jump velocity, and I also like the crouching from the mouse, because whenever you're crouching it increases your movement speed. Whenever you're crouched they can't hear you walking, so yeah. And also that shadow step, by the way. And so whenever you're crouching they can't hear you coming. Like for most boots they can hear you coming, so if you have on your turtle beaches, you know, they can probably hear you coming. So just keep a mental note: if you crouch they can't hear you, they can't hear your footsteps. Those go for any boots as long as you're crouching. Phase boots, or phasing boots, is probably one of my favorite boots because it makes you invisible every 5 seconds, if I'm right, and you don't have to worry about getting invisibility, which is great. So you don't have to worry about really trying to waste a ruins, or waste one of your ruins on invisibility if you have phase. And it pretty much just sets up for some pretty good jukes to get out that work if you need to. Alright, to the belts. Runic Fury is probably my favorite, so you can spam Featherfall more, just saying, you know. But you can, with that belt, you can spam, you can use 3 runes instead of like 2 or 1. The Behemoth belt is pretty much just all around super tanky. The other 2 belts just really reduce damage, increase health pots for consumption, and reduce incoming damage whenever you use a ruin. Those are for the epics. You can read them, but I just kind of told you a quick general idea of what they do. The blues honestly just reduce elemental damage, besides the last one that increases your healing for like every 5 seconds or so. The green ones are pretty much just whack versions of the epic slash legendary ones. If you get them, they're alright, but you know, it'd be better if you got the epics or the legendaries, because you know, higher rarity equals better most of the time in game. So yeah, if you find an epic or legendary, I would probably pick that one up. But it kind of all depends on the situation of what you want or what kind of combos you want. So now we're going to talk about weapon combinations or spell combinations and whatnot, since that is what I have not went over yet. So right now I was picking out what I wanted to have on for some reason. But first we're going to start off with earth and fire, because that's something common that you're probably going to grab along a lot of time. So whenever you use earth basic attack and fire special, you can make a little fire wall and then use your fire or earth basic attack to make a little flame path. It's pretty cool. I mean, you can keep it going for as long as you can, as long as you're attacking. So it'll stay there as long as you keep it going. But if you don't, then it's just gonna disappear. So it's not too important, but it does extra damage if you hit them with the fire and the earth. So to keep that in mind, it does extra damage I wouldn't say double damage, but it does extra damage. Fire special is that. So if you throw a boulder at it, which is your earth special, it just is a giant boulder. The longer it goes out, the bigger it gets. And if you use your earth special and you throw it with the fire, it'll make a flaming rock, as you just saw, and then when it explodes, it leaves a little boulder, or I guess a little giant crater of where it exploded. And that's pretty much it for fire and earth. So fire and ice, pretty self-explanatory. The ice puts out the fire, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But whenever a cool thing is whenever you shoot the fire, or whenever you shoot the ice with fire twice, it creates steam, which actually hurts you. So that's a pretty cool invention. And then you can actually use ice to freeze it up again, and you can make it as like a little platform, and then you pretty much can use it as a blockade or something. Or if you switch to thunder, you can do what I just did and pretty much make it a little I can't even think of the right word, but you can pretty much use it as like a little shock ice ball. that was probably the worst way I could explain it, but if you get close to it, it stuns you, and you can't attack. You can move, but you can't attack. So as you can see what I'm doing right now. And then ice puts, or not ice, shit, wind puts out the steam if it's still there, or anything else. Wind is kind of like the thing that gets rid of things, as weird as that sounds. And if you throw out a tornado, which is the wind special, and shoot thunder at it, it'll make like a slight thunder tornado. I want to say it's kind of like burst damage in a way, because it kind of stays there like for like 3 seconds. It's not too long, but a better combination would be like fire and poison, a fire and poison tornado. So next up is the poison ball, and then lightning, which is probably one of my favorite combos because these are two really good damaging weapons. You can also freeze the poison cloud, which is the poison ball's ult. Just saying, whenever you throw the poison cloud, it creates a giant poison cloud, and then you can use fire to blow it up and create dragon flame. Just saying, you probably can't shoot out your poison ult, freeze it, and then blow it up with dragon, or blow it up with fire, because you know that's switching between weapons a lot. I mean, you probably can do it if you practice it in an actual fight, but most of the time it probably wouldn't work by yourself. So that'll be like teamwork. And wow, I didn't know you could do that. So I guess wind actually turns the puddle back into a fog, which is pretty damn cool. So I learned something new. But yeah, you can also use the giant poison cloud with frost to create another blockade. You can use, there's some things that don't work together, like poison and earth. You can use it kind of like that in a way, to just kind of create a little blockade so they can't see what you're doing and just kind of attack through it. But besides that, it's kind of like you can't really combine it. It's just like you can attack and use it as a cover and go in with it, but they can attack through it too, so don't think you're safe. What else am I missing? I'm really enjoying this Featherfall, guys. I'm just saying, Featherfall is just gonna have to be the best ruin ever made again. So that's me enjoying it for a minute. So just give me some time, and I'll get back to you. Also, I try to use the poison cloud and frost a lot. I didn't mean to do that, but as I was saying, I was gonna use it. I use the poison frozen cloud as cover a lot of times, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I did almost every combo besides uh, the fire tornado and the toxic tornado, which I will do in a second. One thing that they should have added, I want to say, is the option to pretty much hold F for your, or hold a different key for your secondary weapon, which you can't do, which is pretty annoying. Oh, and also another thing, whenever you using frost and earth, if you hit someone with if you have the ice path and then you hit it with the earth and someone's standing on it, it'll freeze them. Or if you throw a boulder at the frozen path, it'll also freeze them if it hits them, or if they're standing on it and the boulder hits them, it'll freeze them. Yeah, so that's another cool thing you can do. But as I was saying, I was wishing that you can just switch out your secondary like how you can switch out your primary, besides having an alt, I mean not alt, but tab to it, because it's kind of annoying to do that, but I guess that's just how it is, because having to like switch your secondary or primary sometimes over just by like dragging it to the other side or dragging it to your second hand is kind of annoying sometimes in situations, but I guess you get used to it. And that's the fire tornado, and then you can explode it to make a dragon flame tornado. And just a hint, the green flames do more damage than the red flames, in case you didn't know. I don't know how much damage it does exactly, but I know it does a significant amount of damage because I have died to it a lot of times. Personal experience. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all the combos, if I'm right. A good glitch back then was, I guess you can't make dragon. Oh damn, that does a lot of damage. You couldn't. Yeah, that is not what I was trying to say. Back then you could use the dragon flame and not dragon flame shit, or tornado, and pretty much infinitely reset it, which was a pretty interesting, I guess, glitch back then. It was pretty fun to use because like you could have the tornado out forever and just throw out either fire or poison, and it would just keep refreshing and it would just stay out there forever. And it could be pretty good if you were trying to kill someone and they were like stuck in a corner. You could just keep them locked over there, but it was just pretty fun to exploit back then. But I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's any more combos. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm ready to post this out whenever the NDB drops. So until then, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you really like the video, drop a subscribe and hit the little bell. And keep out for more videos for Spellbreak, because I will be posting a lot more now that you can finally post things about it. I have a lot of content for the pre-alpha that I haven't even uploaded yet, so I'm getting ready to make those into videos. Even though they're old, I still want to get them out there. They're not great, just saying. It's just me getting used to the game, you know, so don't expect perfection. I'm pretty sure you've seen some pretty good Spellbreak players. I'm not the best, I'm just pretty average, so bear with me, and I hope you enjoy the content, and I'll see you soon.